Yip to yip. You already know what time it is, man. It's your girl POC, man. It's Friday, so you already know how I'm coming each and every Friday. I'm reviving airways 3 to 6 p.m. here on 98.5 WJYM, man, the hottest radio station in the tri-state area. You already know I got our monthly special guest, IUIC Philadelphia, the captain coming through, Captain Joel. I'm really excited to be speaking with him, man. It's been a minute. I'm happy that they still rocking with me. Is for you and about you. So definitely make sure you tap in, join in on the conversations. Make sure you drop your comments below. Ask any questions that you need to ask. Now is definitely the time that you ask your questions and get it off your chest while we got the captain on the line. Again, we are simultaneously broadcasting on both 98.5 WJYN as well as Instagram Live. So if you want to see my face or the captain's face, now is definitely the time to tap in with us. Again, we are at Revive_POC, and they are IUIC Philadelphia on IUIC.Philadelphia on Instagram if you want to check us out right now on Instagram Live.
Yes,
Yo, Captain, man,
I'm
it's been
feeling
a
good.
minute. What's good,
I'm
my
feeling
good
good.
brother?
Hey,
How
I
you
just
feeling?
came back from Africa. I'm feeling blessed.
Wow, congratulations.
Ghana,
Yes, what part of Africa
we just
did you
had a
travel
grand
to?
opening.
Okay. Talk to me. What was that
We
experience
went
like?
out
What
there to
did y'all go
teach,
down
do
there
the
to do?
work, teach our people scattered throughout the diaspora, the Shanti people, the children of Judah, the children of Ashar. We taught the people, we gathered the people. We had press conferences, as well as we met the village chiefs and the kings of the villages over there. And we taught them the two culture. And a lot of them came into acceptance of who they are. And we have the greatest grand school opening and a movie premiere. Yes.
Really? Okay. How many y'all went down there?
Can't remember the exact numbers, but anything 10 people or more.
Okay.
Yeah, so about that.
You said about 10 or more? Okay. And how was you perceived? You know, how were you all perceived walking through, you know, like you talk about villages in Africa, you know, you don't see too many brothers that look like you as far as the way you dressed and built and things of that nature. So how was you all perceived?
A little bit more integrated with Black Americans started to migrate over there because of the dishes of America and different opened up. Especially in Ghana, you know, with the year return. But the perception, a lot of people received us. We're Black, they're Black. Even with the village chiefs, they said, you know, welcome home. You know, it's been a long time you guys been back, you know, being here. Awesome. And they thanked us for bringing us a gift, the gospel. You know, as long as it's been that we've been away in Americas, coming back to the continent with a gift of their true identity was very well received.
I like that. So before we get into today's conversation, please introduce yourself for people who just get familiar with our conversation that we do here monthly. Tell people who you are and exactly what you do.
Anybody that's your first time, my name is Captain Joel, Israelite in Christ, which is a faith-based organization. Like I said, we teach that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, as well as Native American Indians, also the children of the diaspora. Anywhere the slave ships went, the children of the slave trades are the biblical Israelites according to the Bible, or what we call the Jews, the real Jews.
I like how you slid that in there. You said the so-called African Americans. Why you gotta call us so-called, man?
There's no other people that take two different identities as one. It takes on a people that's not even their fathers. African American named after two Italian navigators or one Italian general. We're the only people that take on an identity that has nothing to do with them.
I like how you broke that down. The crazy part because I actually was in a conversation about this. But we're going to talk a little bit about that before. I want to get into the word of the day first before I get you started up because it's a lot to get you started up with right now. But the word of the day I chose was faithfulness, right? And I chose that word because I feel like a lot of our people are in a space where they need to hold on to something. And holding on to it seems to be a little far in between because of a lot of distractions that we have going on right now. So I wanted to choose the word faithfulness intentionally. So I would love to hear, you know, your breakdown.
I like that word. You said a lot of people are looking to hold on to something because of distractions. If I can read this real quick. And Zechariah chapter 9, let me see that, verse 12. A lot of us are prisoners and captive to our own mind and our conditions. And it's hard for us to see past our present and our future because the future of Blacks in America is not really a future. It's been the dreams of our ancestors or the dreams of our children today has been, I would say, has been squashed, or has been, what is the word I'm looking for? The flames have been taken away from us. Let me, if I could read this, Zechariah chapter 9, verse 12. Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. So the Bible told us to turn to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. We're prisoners of a hope. Like you said, we're cleaving onto something that we don't really see. And that's what faith is. The things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In a Black America, we don't have a vision, because our vision, in the flames of our vision is the word I'm looking for. The flames of our vision is quenched. That's the word I'm looking for. It's quenched. So we're prisoners of hope.
And break that down, though. You know what I mean? Like when you say our vision is quenched,
anytime
like,
we
what
come
does
up
that mean?
with
And
something
why
like
do you
Black
say
Wall
that?
Street is one of the greatest examples I can come up with. Having a vision of a culture, a heritage, having a vision of our own economic system, our own banking system, our own schools. Anytime we come up with some type of idea that's going to benefit our nation as well as our community, it's always something that interjects, that quenches that visions, that brings that vision to a halt. And that's what America created conditions that we can't see past our present. So we're prisoners of our own hope. We can't see past what is before us. We don't have a vision. Anytime we formulate a vision, it is blinded. It is taken away from us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I wanted, I see you was looking for somebody. I didn't know if you wanted me to give you time to read something before I ask my next question.
That's what the Bible says, turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. The Bible's the only thing that's able to give us a clear vision past what society paints, because the vision that we have is what this vision that society gives us: to go to school, to get a college education, get a degree, and become a worker in the factories, and work for a business that doesn't benefit us or benefits our community, and circulate a dollar back into the community. But our visions and our faith is based upon not what America has drawn up for us, is what God has planned for us. Our faith is this. If I could read that real quick in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 14. Mm-hmm. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 14 says, for they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. So the Bible, the hope that the Bible talks of is having our own country, having our own monetary system, having our own communities, our drug-ridden communities, our communities without prostitution, gang affiliation, gang violence, not having to worry about two different colors arguing over the street color corner, or having a stray bullet go into your glass and shooting your loved ones, your child, your mothers, your daughters, your grandparents. Not having to suffer the daily plight of being robbed or being killed, or having your daughter sex trafficked, or even your sons taken away from you. So we seek a country where you don't have to worry about violence or crime, oppression, mass incarceration, false imprisonment. These are the things that we hope for. This is the vision that God gave us, not America, which quenches that flame of vision. Yeah.
So does that help with the faithfulness? You know what I mean? Like having the vision that God gives you, does that keep that faithfulness there, you know, to be able to hold on to, you know, something that you still may not tangibly be able to touch or see, but you still have the vision of God. So that's what's keeping you, you know, whole when it comes to having faithful or being faithful. I'm sorry.
Because without a vision, the people perish. You need a vision. Without a vision, you have people walking around the street on drugs, cracked up high. And that's why our children, they only look towards hip hop as a solution, a way out, or gangster rap, the music industry, entertainment industry, basketball, football. This is the vision that America sold us, and they sold us a lie, and we perpetrated the vision that they gave us. They painted an idea of what our vision should be and how communities should be ran. If I could read that real quick, and
that's crazy. So that's actually one of my questions that I have for you today. But yes,
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Without a vision, the people perish. That's why you see in the Black community, there's a lack of knowledge. That's why they call us black or Negro. Negro comes from the word necromancer, necro, or means to be one that is dead. You don't have a vision. We don't have a vision. You don't have an identity. You're one that is dead. You could be called African American. You could be called Negro after necromancer, or one that is walking around dead. They call us the walking dead, dead in our, dead from our identity, dead from our culture, dead from our land, dead from that love for one another, dead from that love for our women, our children, or the women with their husbands and their children. We're a dead race of people. We lack sense. We lack knowledge. We lack common sense. We lack culture. We lack identity.
You can't just drop the mic like that. Shout out to Captain Joel, man. Each and every month, this is something that we want to keep going, having this conversation that's for you and about you. And the reason he was just speaking, and with so much passion, is because the word of the day was faithfulness. So we were talking a little bit about having a vision that actually helps you to hold on to something, so you can be faithful and you can have faith in you in general, so you can keep going in a world in which he described. Because these are things that are happening in the world around us and the environments around us. But Captain, I want to get into our conversation today, and I want to first just start off by what took place last week in Alabama, right, and Montgomery. Like, I want to just ask you your opinion about it, and I want to put like a little pin in the conversation, right? Like, I don't want to specifically talk about the fight and things of that nature, but I want to talk about the backlash that came from it, as far as the unity in which we see when Black people actually rally together and come together, right? At first, you're seeing us come together really strong, really heavy when it comes down to the Carly Russell situation. We went hard, we went to bat for her, and then you see this coming where 7 white men jump on a Black man in Montgomery, Alabama, for doing his job, right? You see us come together for that. But it's always, the backlash was saying that it's always something in turmoil where we see us really stand up for one another and want to be one, or we want to be Black and proud, or we want to put our fist up. But when it comes down to, police brutality, or it comes down to even another, transgender Black person being killed, shot in broad daylight, for dancing outside, these type of things, right? We don't really stand behind or rally behind. And I know that could be something that can shake you up a little bit, but I'm particularly mentioning that because it's things that's happening in the Black community, and you don't see as much ambition behind it to make sure we rally and be unified, versus when something is going, in a very traumatic scene or traumatic way, you see us rally behind. And that was a lot of the backlash that I was seeing. So I wanted to ask you your opinion about
examples.
It, for sure.
Why does Black people rally and surrounded an event that occurred in Alabama, when you have about 4 to 5, or I'd say about 5 to 7 different white individuals jump the security guard, and why they're not rallying around transgenders? The difference is Black people as a whole, because of color, nationality, we have been. Okay.
Well, I wasn't necessarily comparing the two issues. I was comparing, or I was talking about, just the feedback on the backlash that was given about how we rally behind just traumatic incidents versus situations that incidents that deal with some type of violence, right? Versus just a traumatic incident that dealt with violence that happened to one of our people, right? So we've seen that it was a fist fight going on, so we jumped in, but then this Black transgender person can be at the gas station and get shot and nothing happens. That's what I'm talking about. Where's the camaraderie there? And that was the backlash. And I'm not particularly saying that this is my opinion. Yes. I'm just saying that was the, wide scope of broad opinion right now. That was happening.
I'm going to read Zephaniah 2, verse 1. What are Black people looking for? If you look at the history of Black people and the history of America, it's been one of oppression, violence, and brutality from the opposing side, from white people. Let's just put it like what it is. White people have not only lynched us, shot us down, killed us, raped our mothers, raped our fathers, and raped our children, and trafficked them. That's been the history of America. You read Zephaniah 2, verse 1. So Black people are looking for something where they always say, this is a new day. Our parents fought for civil rights. Now we're dealing with a time period when we have received some type of rights. In the generation that we're living in today, children are not going to take the same victimization as our parents have taken or took it from the same speech, such as Malcolm X. with the saying Mahatma Gandhi's standpoint, or to protest peacefully, not to defend yourself. If somebody hits you, turn the other cheek. That's the tune of our ancestors during the 60s under the doctrine of Martin Luther King. They're more so following Malcolm X and defending yourself. But this is what black people are looking for. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Black people understand that we're an undesirable nation, and when they see one of their own get a jump, you see a lot of black people come together on an issue to protect that brother, because they understand that we're an undesired nation when it comes to race, when it comes to ethnicity. We were enslaved not because of our sexual preference. We were enslaved because our ethnic backgrounds, who we are as a people. Now, when it comes to the transgender community, when it comes to, I'll say, the LGBT community, is different. If you can see it, it's more so of a sexual preference. That's something that they decide to take on. You don't see about what's the difference. Okay, you decided you wanted to be a transgender or homosexual, partake in that type of lifestyle. You have heterosexuals too. People don't make a big cry over sexuality, but with the whole transgenderism and LGBTQ, that has been used as a method for population control. That's why we're seeing push more than ever within the black community. And that's what the whole agenda, with the Sodom agenda, because.
Well, I'm saying, let me ask you another direct question then, and before we get onto that topic, let me ask you another direct question, right? Because I want to make sure that you got my point when I asked the original question, right? Okay, yeah, because I mean, it is two different things. I feel what you're saying, but I don't want it to be about the issue. I want it to be about the unification of just black people in general, right? Yeah. Because it happens to two people that are black regardless, right?
One is victimhood, and concerning years, centuries of oppression based on our identity, not sexuality. The sexual, I'll say, the transgender or the LGBTQ sexual movement, sexual preference movement, wasn't based upon their race. It was based upon their sexual preference, and they were being lynched or killed or incarcerated on a mass scale. LGBT.
Well, they are in a lot of different ways. They are, and I'm not comparing what the LGBT community is going through compared to what slavery, and what our ancestors went through. I'm not comparing those two. And I want to kind of move on before we offend anybody, because I think that we can offend a lot of people with this conversation. So I want to move on a little bit, right? And I want to get back to what you were talking about when it comes down to the music, because I feel like, in our music, this demon time theme is really being spread, right? So the question I want to ask is, everyone is saying they're on demon time with music, promoting demon time, music, TV, etc. How do we counter these demon, conversations when it comes to speaking to our youth, when they think that this is like, a fad or a trend or something that is, something that needs to be said or talked about in our music, or just in our entertainment world in general?
Music is music is the gateway to the soul. It has the ability to alter one's conscience, their position, as well as the reality, perception of life. That's what the Bible gives us: laws, statutes, commandments, morals, in order to keep us somewhat contained within our, like I said, so that psychologically we don't go far off. That's what demon time. What do you think demon time is? You're dealing with spirits. You're dealing with demonic spirits. That's what the music is for. It takes you into a trance, and it's demonic vibrations that's passed off to our youth. That's why you have so much violence and killing. You have gangster rap. You have demon time music. You also have what is called trap music, or what is the new music they have today? I forgot what it's called. There's a type of vibration that comes with the type of music that they listen to, and type of actions that come with it. That's why you have.
But Captain, we also celebrate the 50th year of hip hop, right? So when you think about just the evolution of hip hop, the genre itself, where it's at, how you just, named a couple subcategory genres in the hip hop industry, those are the kind of genres that are making the most money right now. Those are the kind of genres selling out crowds and have people coming to concerts.
Yeah, you're right, but all money's not good money. Check this out. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33.
That's real.
Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. So there's a communication that could corrupt your mannerism. It could corrupt you in terms of your sexual preference. It could corrupt you in terms of your sexual identity or how you go about things in terms of promiscuity. A lot of the music today in hip hop promotes our women to sexually exploit themselves, to be sexually provocative. A man to exploit our women, to take advantage of our women and look at them as sexual objects. A woman to look at men as sexual objects or to use men for their substance. These are the different messages that the music conveys today. It doesn't convey messages such as during the time periods of the early 70s when music was used as an instrument to communicate the different things that's happening within the community, such as violence, oppression, police brutality. You have Kool Herc. You also have Run DMC. You also had, what is it? I forgot the music group. It slipped my head. When they was speaking about, no, absolutely not. I'm talking about before that time period. So we're talking about a time when music has some type of substance. Even during the 1960s, you have Black empowerment music. The music today is not Black empowerment, but it's Black degenerative music. The Bible talks about what type of music that we're supposed to make. If you go to the book of Ephesians, remember the Bible.
But it's also based on the artists that you listen to too. I feel like some artists do their best to try to promote, you know, peace and unity and all that good stuff, that conscious rap. But then some artists, they really go out their way to make it their mission to, you know, really promote something.
No, you're 100% right.
Off the wall.
Look at this. This is in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. It says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers." So the Bible, one standpoint, the Bible's talking about, somebody mentioned the lost poets. Thank you. KRS-One, thank you. Listen, I'm tired. I'm different time. I mean, when I'm saying I'm on a different time zone, right now it's supposed to be 10 o'clock for me. But,
okay.
So bear with me.
I get what you're saying.
Standpoint, the Bible says evil communication corrupts good manner. Now, on the opposite side, it says, "Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying." Cardi B wouldn't allow her own daughter to listen to the music that she produced. If you won't allow your own daughter, then why are you producing music that you don't want your children to listen to? And there was this other woman, like, for example, the things that you portray or display is going to affect the up-and-coming generation. So it says, "Let no communication, evil communication, proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying." We have the power with words, with music, with writings, in order to influence the next generation into something positivity. I just saw the movie. I'm not sure you saw the movie, King Richards. You ever see that? A wonderful movie. The way, and you look at the life or how he brought up his daughter. You notice he was very careful of what was being said to her. He said, "No, don't ask her any more questions. Why you keep on saying that to her? You got to understand. That a young Black girl's mind in America is very fragile. You got to be very careful with it."
And he had us working on them kids too. You can't even make it seem like that.
Wait,
Papa
say that
was
again?
out there doing his own Rolling Stones too.
Yeah.
He's talking about being Serena's father, correct?
Yeah, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the communication part. So. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Papa was dropping bags off like he was dropping bombs. I'm not condoning that. Well, I'm just speaking on a point in terms of he understood what communication could do. He understood that words have power, has the power to influence a person's perception and their reality, and influence the future. And he tried to protect that. So the music that we
I'm glad you said that, because this segues into my next question I want to ask you. Pretty much a topic that I just want to bring up, right? Because we haven't talked since, I want to say we haven't talked since like late May, early June. It's now August. For those who are just tuning in, man, this is something that we do once a month with IUIC Philadelphia. I appreciate you for always tapping in, the entire IUIC family. Every month, y'all make sure y'all come through strong with it, so I appreciate that. But Captain, I want to ask you, right, you know, speaking of the future and perception and all of this, man, right now the biggest conversation is AI. artificial intelligence, right? This is something that they want to implement into our school system. This is something they want to implement into our healthcare system. They want to implement it even when it comes down to our public safety roles with our firefighters, police officers, EMTs, as well as just the economy, right? They want to put it into more businesses and things of that nature. So when it comes down to just this high rolling, heavy hitting conversation of AI, artificial intelligence, what's your thoughts on that? And I want to
I'm
hear
into
your
computers.
feedback.
I'm in engineering. Technology could be useful in terms of how you use it, but technology can also be dangerous also in how you use it. New wave of AI technology, the way they're pointing it, or the direction in which they're going into, is going into what a scale of mass control. I'm not saying mass control. They're going into a mass control in terms of your financial life. They could track you anywhere globally, all over the world. The AI could tap into the computer system, into the camera system. It could, if you speak against the government, like I said, AI is an artificial intelligence. It could think on its own. It could generate thoughts on its own. It could produce. It's Chat GPT. All of these things. It's going to be dangerous. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs, and a lot of people is going to have to conform unto the system. And it's leading to what is called the mark of the beast, meaning they're going to mark their ideology in your mind, their philosophical thoughts, their religions, their political agenda. All of that's going to be one world global order, and that's what it's leading to, the control of the masses.
So when you think about it, do you think like it's gonna like expound itself into like robots and like people on the streets with robots, like having like little robots follow them around so they can do their chores like they would want to do as humans? Like, do you think it's gonna be that absurd, or do you think it's gonna stay within our technology, like our cell phones,
Yeah,
our
it's going to go to a
tablets,
robot.
computers, things of that nature? And remember, people, this is just all opinions. These are our perspectives, our opinions.
The
You know
future,
what I
like
mean? For sure.
iRobot, Minority Report. It's going to go to a computerized age where we're pretty much not going to be able to think for ourselves. And that's the ultimate agenda, that we don't have our own thought process. We don't think for ourselves. We're not productive. We're not conducive. They think for us. Because you notice it, the smartphone, everything thinks for us. They hold all our information to the point that they want us to be computerized dummies. They want the phone and the computer, everything to think for us, where we can't function in society. Neither do we have the common sense, because you need your brain. If I could read this real quick, the dangerous of AI technology, or technology in general, it doesn't allow you to exercise sense, common sense, exercise your thoughts, thinking, memorization. We use computer technology for everything. Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8. Let me get that real quick. This is what the Bible and reading does for you. And this is what technology doesn't do for you. This is the book of Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8. It says, so they read in the book of the law of God distinctly, and gave the sense, and caused them to understand the reading. So the Bible, when reading calls you to understand. It causes you to exercise your senses, exercise your thought. What computer and technology does is it doesn't cause you to exercise your thoughts. It actually manipulates your way, your thinking process. It manipulates your thoughts. It controls you. It controls your way of thinking. That's why TikTok, what do people put in all these TikTok 1-minute videos, 30-second videos, 5-second videos? Because why? They instituted their thought within your conscience. And they're guiding you in the direction that they want you to go in. So I think it's detrimental, and I think it's not good. It's going to take a lot of jobs, and it's leading to one world global economic system.
And what about the school part, right? I want to tap into a little bit of education, because you mentioned, how important reading is and how imperative reading is, for sure. But when you have, sites like you mentioned, ChatGPT, who is pretty much, helping this next generation through their academic process. It can rewrite, it can create, it can type up, it can do anything and everything. So how can this actually help with the next generation, or do you think it would harm more than help as far as
We
getting
think
the
technology
academic?
is actually benefiting us. It's actually dumbing us down, because you have people prior to technology the technological advances that we have today, ancient civilization, you see the architectural designs, a lot of these building structures, technology can replicate that. Even when it comes to the creation of some of these instruments, like, for example, I used to be a musician, a violinist, and this is a violin called a Stradivarius that they're trying to replicate it with all the technology that they have today, but they cannot. Because back then, the people actually used their mind to think. They exercised their senses. They had to actually use it. They had to use their mind for creativity. Technology quenches your levels of creativity that you cannot think. That's why they call it a smartphone. The phone is not.
But what about the fact that it enhances things? You know, it makes things faster. It makes things faster. We can get things done easier. We can know how to get from Nantucket to Pottstown, Pennsylvania, you know, by using technology.
Technology is now it helps us to do things. Don't get me wrong. We can use it, and it does benefit us to a certain extent. Alex, I'm an engineer because I gotta work. I don't give a damn about it. It doesn't benefit us at all. I'll say this. This is where it does benefit us in getting the gospel on a mass scale. I'll say that. And there's some beneficial, like I said, there's some benefits to it. But let me tell you what technology really is. This is Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Technology is not, they call it machine learning or AI, artificial intelligence or machine learning. You have different codes. For example, when you go to the coding, you have something called Python coding. When you take a computer learning program and you insert codes within a program and you tell the program what you want to do. So the program memorizes different codes, and after a while, it starts operating on its own. That's what it calls artificial intelligence. But some man generated those codes. All these thoughts that the computer has generated is not his own thoughts. It's nothing new. What do you think he's getting it from? Some person, some man with an imagination of his own thoughts says, I'm going to create a program. I'm going to create codes. I'm going to create different interfaces, command lines that's going to be able to speak to this computer. It's his language that he's speaking to his language. So all it is just another language. It's a person that just created a language. The language is the artificial language, just like English is a bastard language. That's a man created a language. French, Russian, German, all these are different languages. Technology is just a computerized language that a man created, and we're living in it thinking that we're progressing. What has technology done for society today? I'm waiting.
I agree with that last point. I love how you broke it down to a point where anyone can truly understand what artificial intelligence is. Thank you for that breakdown. We needed that breakdown.
Technology benefited the human body? What has technology, has it benefited the environment?
I mean, not to throw thoughts or be that person, but as far as our healthcare system, it has helped, you know, and as far as just detecting things. No, I'm not saying that technology hasn't harmed us in a way when it comes to our healthcare system, but also in our healthcare system, I do have to give credit to technology that is actually helping, you know, with heart monitors and catching up with diabetes and cholesterol, all of these things.
It's not because of the technology is helping assisting us. It's because of the food that they're giving us, and they give the imagination, a false pretense of the false imagination that these different technologies is actually benefiting us. But we live longer prior to today. People live to 100 years or more in slavery and beyond that. It's not the technology that's assisting us. It's the foods that we're eating that's killing us. Because people on islands without the technology are stronger and they live longer. And they don't have diabetes or cancer or all these things. It's because of environmental pollution. It's because of technological pollution. It's because of the 5G technology and the airwaves. It's all these things are affecting us psychologically. Your phone. When you put the phone next to your ear, what is that doing? That's polluting your mind. That's corrupting you. And what is it called? The vibration, I forgot the word, but check this out. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18.
No doubt. And I got another question I want to get to you too from our conversation last time.
Yeah, so it produces what? Cancer. All these drugs. All the technological advances is not extended our life, but it's actually limited our life force because there's repercussions for the technology that's being created. Even your Teslas, your electric cars, it comes with the cost of the environment. You're going green.
Even now, and not even switch gears or be wild with this statement, but even with our cannabis, right? It's being grown inside of labs, inside of homes and stuff. So even like how people use medicinal cannabis is not even the same anymore. You know, you gotta really look
let me just read the scripture real quick. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear the name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. How they destroying the earth? With the technological advance during the Industrial Revolution, when they came with scientific advancements, with the steamboat, from the steamboat to the cars, to the factories, to the nuclear factories, to the nuclear power plants, to the production factories, to the production of the computer chip. All these things are actually destroying the earth. Prior to the Europeans coming to the Americas, there was no environmental pollution. There was no pollution within the water. There was no fluoride and all these things within the water. They didn't have to worry about the pharmaceutical companies and a pacemaker, or you have to put insulin shots or have a machine attached to your body that pushes the drugs in you so that it can balance your diabetes levels. That's only today. They're destroying the earth. Technology is corruption. If you've seen the movie X-Men, he says no more of this. And technology is actually, their technology is witchcraft. It's not only out of God.
All right. I want to move on a little bit. Again, for those who are just now tuning in, man, we're tapping in with IUIC Philadelphia. We got Captain Joel on the line. We appreciate you dropping your comments. We appreciate you tuning in. We are simultaneously broadcasting on 98.5 WJYN as well as Instagram Live at Revive_POC. Or if you want to tap in with them, it's IUIC.Philadelphia on Instagram as well.
Yes,
Captain, what is the website for people to tap in?
www.israelunite.org.
Yes. These are the men you see outside on your corners in the city of Philadelphia with the purple shirts, making sure that they're, giving you that news, that information, that word for sure that's for you and about you. So we appreciate the work that they're doing, and that's why we want to make sure we continue to give them a platform here on Revive Radio, so we can continue to make sure that you are gravitating to the word, as the deacon as the captain would say.
Have you seen our stance in the Chicago O Block? Yes.
Oh, no,
so it's been a long time. So it's been a while since we met. But within that time period, we actually had a gathering, a blitz. We gathered hundreds upon hundreds of men, even close to 1,000 men that stood up and walked through the streets of Chicago, and we preached the gospel in front of O Block in the community. So we try to give some type of answers to the people, show them that they don't have to be scared for gun violence or the niggas on the block. Excuse me, but these niggas that's terrorizing the community with the little guns and the weapons, and try to put fear on the people so that the kids can't go out on the block and they can't enjoy their childhood, or even go out and just have a normal working, just have a normal way of living. Our people are living in a state of fear every day because of the kids, and that's why IUIC, we went to O Block and we preached the gospel. We stood up boldly and we gave an example. Oh,
how was that?
It was received very well. Some people threaten us because some people are so stuck in their ways. They can't perceive past the conditions or the conditions that has been created for them.
And with that, so Captain, I want to get into this last question before I let you go. I appreciate you always coming through in this 4:00 hour, making sure that we're reviving our airways. And this was a conversation. A question that came from our conversation last time. We were talking about spiritual warfare, and the question came from Twitter. It says, and I wanted to make sure I brought this back up. It says, how do we be offense? Well, how do we be the offense, like be on the offensive side when
Excellent
it comes
question.
to
I love that.
warfare? did too.
Yes,
That's why I
excellent
wanted to make
question.
sure
I
I
love
brought
that
it back up
question.
to you.
Things that are more, like I said, people are starting to wake up to see the spiritual attack in the music industry, the spiritual attack through the music, through the entertainment industry, as well as the school system. And within our communities, people are starting to wake up to what's being pushed on us as a whole. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6. This is the only way to combat the spiritual attacks from society. I'm talking about demonic attacks. That's what he's having. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So the Bible tells us how to attack or how to combat the spiritual warfare on the opposite side. The Bible says to put on the whole armor of God. What is the whole armor? You got to put on this whole Bible. You got to study, pray, and apply. You got to fast. You got to study every single day. That's the only way we're going to be able to combat the wiles of the devil that's being attacked on us every day. Let me read on. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, and against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the day of evil, having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. So the Bible tells us how to combat the spiritual wickedness that's being attacked on us every single day. It says, put on, therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. What is the truth? Psalms 119, verse 142. Psalms 119, verse 142. It says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So the armor that we're supposed to put on is the laws of God. Only then we're able to withhold or withstand the spiritual wickedness that's being shot at us every day. We're being able to withstand the spiritual wickedness being shot at us through the music, through the evil communication, the demon time, the drill music, the gangster rap, NWA. We're able to combat that and say, no, the Bible says evil communication corrupts good manner. When you have a man that's trying to talk in your ear and try to get our young daughters out of their pants, take their virginity and prostitute them and make it into whores. The Bible talks about to the woman, marriage is honorable and all, and the bed is undefiled. That's the only way we're going to be able to combat spiritual wickedness. The things that you see on TV, guess what? It corrupts you, your perception. It corrupts your reality. It corrupts your actions. So you got to put on the whole armor. You got to be able to shield your ears. You got to be able to shield your eyes. For example, when it comes to the lust today, the lust is through this roof. You have hot girl summers. You got women walking around with their thighs out and spandex, their panty lines, their booties
You got
out.
city boys
You got
too.
men looking at their
Don't do us
shoulders,
like
their
that.
chests out with their ride shoulder print.
You got men painting their beards.
Yeah.
You got men gluing beards on. You got men painting their hairline so they can have a city boy
Hey,
summers.
I'm
Bro,
on
don't
both
keep y'all
sides, sis.
players
I
like
hit
that,
both
Captain.
things. I hit the man and the woman with the uppercut. But the Bible says put on the whole armor of God. For example, when it comes to our eyes, they say the communication is through the eyes as well as through your ears. The things that we see goes to your soul, as well as the things that you hear. That's why they attack you through entertainment visually, Hollywood, and they attack you auditory through the music industry. They attack both senses. One part of the scriptures deal with evil communication, corrupt good manners, to watch what you listen to. And another form of the scriptures talks about protecting your eyes. This is Job 31, verse 1. I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? So we have to protect our eyes. We have to make a covenant with the eyes to prove what is good. And that's how we combat spiritual wickedness, by putting on this whole Bible.
I appreciate you, Captain, for coming through, man. I like you taking this time out. You just came off a trip, you know what I mean? I know you're tired. I appreciate you coming through and making sure that we got that dose of information this month. Everything that you all are doing at IUIC Philadelphia, I appreciate what you're doing for the city. I want to get this time for you all to take your time to shout yourself out, the website, social media, how people can tap into the Sunday editions on
Before I
YouTube and
get
all
into
that good
that,
stuff.
we got to get together. IUIC Philadelphia would like to put on an event, Stop the Violence event, because the violence this year in Philly has been astronomical. Even hook up with Gilly the Kid. Remember, his son just got shot through gang violence, or not gang violence, just he got shot just based upon the violence in Philadelphia alone. And our fathers are losing their sons, and our mothers are also losing their sons and daughters. So we have to do something. Like, for example, you have a great platform that we're able to meet the people where they are. And IUIC, we have a platform where we deal with the streets. We go on the streets and we educate our kids about the youth violence. We try to stop it when they're kids, because by the time they get old, sometimes it's hard to reach them at an older age, and we're trying to stop it from the youth so that they don't go in that corrupt type of lifestyle. So we need to work together. We need some connection.
I was about to say, let's do it. Let's make something happen. We need to meet in person, sit down, and have a conversation.
Let's put on a major event where we get together with the different celebrities, where we do something in the community, because it's time for us to make a stance and stop standing by on the side and see these things happening. We like to talk, but we need to be about a people of action and bring solutions to the neighborhoods.
No doubt. I would like to actually introduce you first to Dr. Jonathan Wilson, who's actually the founder of the nonprofit organization Fathership Foundation. And they have a nonprofit. They have it's a citywide nonprofit, but at the same time they focus a lot on Southwest Philadelphia, where a lot of things are happening. And I feel like your energy and his synergy will be able to match to be able to make something bigger and impactful. So I definitely would like to connect you to some people first before we get to that level of conversation.
Let's
definitely make sure we can do something. Tell your people to hit me. Exactly. Let's make sure I'm not going to drop the ball. Make sure y'all don't drop the ball so we can really make it happen.
Yeah,
right, man, I appreciate you.
The most high. Hopefully everybody gained something for the show. Excuse me, a little bit fatigued today. So the words just came back from a 2-week tour of Africa. But if you guys want to reach us, you want to see the great works that Israel United Christ is doing globally throughout the diaspora, as well as in Philadelphia, you can visit us at our website, www.israelunite.org. Once again, www.israelunite.org. Or if you want to reach us directly through our email, you can reach us at iuic.philadelphia@israelunite.org. Once again, iuic.philadelphia@israelunite.org. We have IUIC TV. You can download it through your application stores, your app stores. You can even go to our YouTube channels. We have plenty of YouTube channels. IUIC in the Classroom. You have IUIC Philadelphia. You have IUIC New Jersey. You have IUIC Events, IUIC Diaspora. We touch the diaspora of our people scattered globally throughout the transatlantic slave trade that took our people throughout the different countries all over the world. All right? And like,
so they everywhere.
We're global.
They're global, man. That's what he's
we're
trying to
Africa,
say. They're everywhere.
We're
anywhere.
India.
Just Google them. They're going to pop
Come on, put some respect on us.
Yes. Put some respect on them, man. We appreciate you, Captain, man. I look forward to talking to you next month. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Get some rest. Yes, get some rest.